Behind every thriving learner is a teacher's own welfare and well-being must not be overlooked. This captures the essence of educational journey, one that is deeply rooted in the stability and strength of the teacher. The theme Teacher Welfare and Well-being emphasizes the importance of prioritizing the mental, physical, emotional, and professional health of educators, as they are the key drivers of student learning and holistic development. In the recent study conducted in Mindanao, alarming statistics revealed the mental health challenges faced by Filipino teachers. 24.2% who experience mild to severe depression, 53.8% who exhibit signs of anxiety, and 56.3% who suffered from stress. These results underscore a systematic issue. The welfare of the teacher and well-being of the teacher are no longer become the secondary concerns but now becoming a central component of educational effectiveness. When the teachers are physically, mentally, and emotionally supported, they are better equipped to facilitate learning and manage their classrooms. According to Harchler et al. 2022, that the ability of teachers to deliver quality education is deeply intertwined with their health and overall well-being. And that is for the well-being of the teacher. So how about for the teacher welfare? According to Ingersoll 2012, that the teacher welfare will extend beyond salaries or workload. It also includes access to mental health services, emotional resilience, community supports, and opportunities for professional growth. Prioritizing this aspect not only supporting educators' personal development, as well as enhances classroom environment and student success. In the pursuit of quality education, the focus only rests on student success and outcomes. But the heart of every successful classroom is the teacher. The teacher is willing to do everything just to give us the better quality education that we want. If us don't care about their welfare and well-being, so what will be happen? In this presentation, we aim to bring forward historical context, legal frameworks, and real-world realities that shape the welfare and well-being of the teachers today. Let's begin with the overview of the research findings.
Well, thank you for that, Roddy. As we all know, teacher welfare and well-being plays a vital role in education development, yet they still face difficulties despite these legal protections. Now, in this section is divided in 3 main sections, which includes legal foundations of teacher welfare, the current challenges they face, and of course, the insights that can be taken from these pieces of information. The welfare of teachers in the Philippines is grounded in several laws and policies. This includes the Republic Act No. 4670, also known as the Magna Carta for Public School Teachers of 1966, which provides job security, a 6-hour classroom teaching limit, the leave privileges, health benefits, and of course, the rights to self-organize. This law recognized for the first time that protecting teachers is protecting the future of education. We also have the RA 7836, or the Professionalization Act of 1994, which helped elevate the change to a professional status by standardizing licensure through the PRC, reinforcing ethics and competency in the profession. Well, we also have the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, or the PPST, which also emphasizes well-being, though indirectly. It expects teachers to demonstrate resilience, professional conduct, and continuous growth, all of which are impossible to maintain if teachers' welfare is neglected. Well, despite these legal foundations, many Filipinos still struggle with having. According to statistics, we have the Fabula 2024, which reports 72% experiences high stress. The NIA 2023 also notes that 64% show signs of burnout, and we have FAIR of 2017 found 58% are in debt and only 22% have access to mental health services. Worse, only 35% of teachers felt supported by their school administrations. This is despite the existence of laws like the Magna Carta or the recent policies such as the House Bill 10933, also known as the Teachers' Mental Health and Wellness Act, filed in 2024, which aims to provide regular mental health assessments, counseling, and also stress relief programs. We also have DepEd Order No. 2 Series of 2024, which mandates the immediate removal of non-teaching tasks from teachers so they can focus on instruction. While these steps are encouraging, challenges like limited budgets, weak enforcement, and of course the cultural stigma around mental health still persist. Many teachers hesitate to seek help due to fear of judgment or being labeled as weak. From all of the discussed information, we do have strong legal foundations through the Magna Carta, the RA 7836, and also the PPST. And we are now seeing efforts to introducing mental health reforms. But implementation remains inconsistent, and teachers continue to face overwhelming stress and limited reports. As we move forward, we will now explore how these realities affect the everyday teaching experience and and how we achieve educational outcome in the classroom.
Now let's proceed to the analysis of impact of teacher welfare and well-being to the practice of teaching. Let's start with a simple quote by an anonymous person. A teacher who is cared for cares more. Now, would you agree with this quotation? Let's have an analysis of the teacher welfare and how it impacts the teaching practice. A study by Coley, Shapka, and Perry in 2012 entitled School Climate and Social Emotional Learning, Predicting Teacher Stress, Job Satisfaction, and Teaching Efficacy found out that teachers who are well supported reports higher level of job satisfaction, lower stress, and stronger self-efficacy. This supports to the idea that if teachers are taken care, the welfare and well-being of the teacher could maximize the productivity of the teacher. For example, a time period to prepare for their lessons, they are well prepared to deliver the instruction to the students. And also, they can use the extra time to prepare other preparations for their job or teaching. Third one is support. Teachers who are well supported in terms of support, either mentally or financially, they can perform well rather than teaching who are not supported. First example we can have is that whenever a teacher prepares a teaching material, if they are well supported, they don't need to buy a material out from their pocket because they are already supported with materials, and it would boost their ability to teach effectively because they will have sharper focus on the delivery of the instruction. And lastly, it would lead to effectiveness of teaching. Teachers will become effective if they are well supported. According to the study recently stated earlier, that teachers have high level of job satisfaction and teaching efficacy. This proves that when teacher welfare and well-being is being taken care with, teachers are more effective than not being supported compared to a teacher that is not well supported by the authorities or the government. On the contrary, when the welfare and well-being of a teacher is being neglected, it often leads to any consequences. And these are some of the consequences that can be observed to the teachers that is not well supported with their welfare and well-being. First off, we have the stress. This is a common problem to the teachers and even in the students. So we as a future educator, we know in ourselves that we are already experiencing stress because of overloaded activities from the academics, right? So if we students are experiencing stress, how much more are the teachers? So stress is one of the consequences when welfare and well-being of the teachers is being neglected. Second one is the burnout. Burnout is still associated with stress. With the accumulation of stress, burnout becomes a reality. Third one is emotional exhaustion. Aside from physical exhaustion, teachers could also experience emotional exhaustion, especially when they are being overloaded with works or tasks associated with extra work or maybe overtime. When teachers experience emotional exhaustion, we know that even though you are emotionally tired, your physical body also responds to it. It becomes also tired. And lastly, health problems. This is very common to all the teachers. So as I have observed in many years of schooling, some of my teachers are experiencing sickness. And teachers, if teachers are not well being supported, just like they are allotted with sick leave, if sick leave is not there, so what could happen to the teachers? So these are just some of the consequences when we neglect the welfare and well-being of a teacher. So, could negligence to the welfare and well-being of teachers lead to more complicated situation? So, I have a question. Could negligence to the welfare and well-being to the teacher could lead to a more complicated situation? Let's have a look to a real-life scenario in the next slide. And analysis of this scenario will be presented to us by Miss Isabel Maya.
Education Davao Region ang pagkamatay ng isang guro sa Davao de Oro. Hinala kasi ng pamilya ng teacher na matay siya dahil sa sobrang stress ng masermonan ng principal. Nasa frontline na balitang yan si Bril Montalvo.
Labis ang hinagpis ng pamilya Buldo sa pagpanaw ng ilaw ng kanilang tahanan na si Marjorie, isang guro sa Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Kwento ng kanyang pamilya, inatake raw sa puso si Marjorie dahil sa sama ng loob. Nasermonan daw kasi ang guro ng kanilang principal sa Tibagon Elementary School noong September 4. May isang magulang daw kasing nagreklamo laban kay Teacher Marjorie matapos masugatan sa ulo ang isang estudyanteng naglalaro sa loob ng classroom. Agad nang sumbong ang magulang ng estudyante sa principal, kaya napagalitan si Teacher Marjorie. Sa isang screenshot ng chat ni Marjorie sa kanyang principal, inilabas niya ang kanyang dinadamdam sa nangyari. Masakit daw sa loob ang paninermo ng principal. Umiiyak daw si Teacher Marjorie kapag naaalala niya ang ginawa ng principal at sumisikip ang kanyang dibdib. Napag-alaman ding hindi ito ang unang beses na sinermonan siya at sinabihan ng masasakit na salita ng principal. Ayon naman sa asawa ni Marjorie na si Tatay Celestino, hindi raw binanggit sa kanya ng misis na may dinaramdam siya. Nagtaka na lang siya na parang nanghihina at minsan ay natutulala ang kanyang asawa.
Sabi nila, depressed talaga, palaging umiiyak, parang ganun. Hindi daw siya maayos, parang ganun ba. Talagang problematic situation talaga siya. Parang ganun. Kasi hindi niya natanggap ang response eh. Ano yung ginawang pag-reprimand sa kanya? Gusto kong malaman sana yun. Ano yung mga sinabi niya?
Hanggang sa sinugod sa ospital si Teacher Marjorie dahil sa pananakip ng dibdib at panghihina ng katawan noong September 17. Binawian siya ng buhay matapos ang 3 araw sa ospital. Paniniwala ng pamilya ni Teacher Marjorie dahil sa paninermo ng principal kaya ito nangyari. Pero sa death certificate ni Teacher Marjorie, lumalabas na multiple organ failure at sepsis ang kanyang kinamatay, bunsod ng komplikasyon ng pneumonia. Isang nakakamatay na kondisyon ang sepsis kung saan nagkakaroon ng extreme response ang immune system ng katawan sa isang impeksyon na posibleng magresulta sa multiple organ failure. Hindi na humarap sa amin ang nagreklamong magulang ng estudyante, pati ang pamunuan ng eskwelahan. Habang ang inirereklamong principal naman ay kasalukuyang nakalive. Inaalam na ng Regional Office ng Department of Education sa Davao kung may pananagutan ang principal.
We have conducted a motu proprio investigation on the matter. Ibig sabihin, we did not wait for anyone to file complaint. But upon seeing the information in social media, immediately we form a group to investigate.
Nagbabalita mula sa frontline, Bril Montalvo, News 5.
As you can see in the video, this involved an incident where a grade 2 student under Teacher Marjorie's advisory was involved in an accident, reportedly due to mischief. The parents of the student then went directly to the principal. Following this, the principal allegedly scolded and insulted Teacher Marjorie after she spoke with them about the situation. The Teacher Marjorie had shared her feelings about this incident in a Facebook group chat. Her relatives expressed their grief and anger on Facebook, directly blaming the principal's actions for her emotional distress, which they believe ultimately led to her death. And Teacher Marjorie had dedicated over 30 years to her profession. As you can see in the video, this involved an incident where a grade 2 student under Teacher Marjorie's advisory was involved in an accident, reportedly due to mischief. Viral is highly relevant, especially to teacher welfare and well-being. It tragically highlights the significant impact that workplace stress and negative interactions with superiors can have on a teacher's emotional and even physical health. It underscores the vulnerability of educators to emotional distress arising from their professional responsibilities and their personal dynamics within the school environment. This viral also touches upon the lack of support for mechanisms that could have potentially mitigated the emotional burden of teachers, especially Teacher Marjorie's very important place. What can we learn in this incident? First, the critical need for respectful and professional communication. This implies the importance of principals and school administrators engaging in respectful and constructive communication with their teaching staff, especially in addressing sensitive issues involving or belittling language can have severe emotional consequences. Second, the impact of unsolved emotional stress. This is directly between the alleged insult and the teacher's eventual death, highlighting the serious physical toll for that prolonged emotional distress and stress can take on individual health. The third one, the importance of due process and investigation. While the notice have shared their account, the ongoing verification by the news outlets and the expected statement from the Department of Education emphasizes engaging in respectful and constructive communication with their teaching staff, especially addressing prioritize the mental and emotional well-being of their teachers, recognizing the demand nature of their profession and the potential for significant stress. Implementing proactive measure and support system is crucial. In order for us to have a deeper understanding of what a teacher welfare and well-being, let's see the second video. And this involved it was happened in Rojas City, Capiz, Philippines, dated in April 14, 2025, where a grade 7 teacher, Jessica Reyes, through a Facebook post, had made a content video and went it viral. To prioritize the mental and emotional well-being of their
grade 7 student na sinabi sa kanyang babaeng guro na magbimbangan daw sila, definitely maling-mali po ito. No? Ito na nga yung reality na nangyayari sa panahon natin ngayon. Ito na rin yung resulta ng pagiging maluwag ng mga guro, no? Ng mga polisiya, ng mga guidelines no? When it comes to parenting, when it comes sa loob ng eskwelahan. Ngayon, maling-mali po ito kahit sabihin natin na bata pa yan or biro lang. Kasi ibig sabihin yan, wala talagang daladalang magandang asal yung bata kahit na nasa eskwelahan na. At maraming ganyan na nasa bahay pa lang ay bastos na managot sa kanilang mga magulang. Paano pa kaya yung mga akto nila pagdating sa eskwelahan o sa paaralan na kanilang pinapasukan. Ngayon, dapat syempre, no, para sa akin ay syempre naman wag i-tolerate, no, bigyan ng karampatang parusa, okay? At syempre turuan ng magandang asal sa bahay pa lang. Kaya 'yon, nakakabastos at nakakabisi talaga yung mga ganyang estudyante.
When we talk about the relevance to this incident, especially to teacher welfare and well-being, it highlights the vulnerabilities teachers can face and the potential threats to their welfare and well-being. Sexual harassment, regardless of the source, creates a hostile, emotional, damaging work environment. The added burden of managing students' violence further contributes to stress and can impact a teacher's sense of safety and job satisfaction. And this also highlights that the role of an educator extends beyond instruction and can involve managing complex and potentially traumatic situations, emphasizing the need for support and protection for teachers. And now, we will discuss the potential implications and lessons learned from this incident. This incident carries significant implication. It underscores the critical need for robust school policies and clear protocols for addressing student misconduct, including harassment and violence against teachers. It also highlights the importance of comprehensive teacher training that goes beyond pedagogy to include managing difficult student behaviors and accessing support. Furthermore, it emphasizes the vital role of school administrations in providing immediate and ongoing support to affected teachers and fostering a school culture that prioritizes respect and accountability. Finally, this incident serves as a powerful reminder of the emotional toll teaching can contain and urgent need to prioritize the safety and well-being of educators so they can effectively serve their students.
In the Philippines, teacher welfare and well-being is grounded in both legal mandates and ethical standards. Laws such as RA 4670 and RA 7836 safeguard teachers' rights, ensure fair treatment, and regulate professional standards through licensure. Complementing this is the PPST, which support teacher holistic growth by emphasizing professional development, well-being, and a positive work environment. Despite of this legal protection, conflict may still arise when legal requirements and ethical responsibility occur. Teacher may face dilemma when balancing the performance expectation with ethical teaching practices. And a situation involving child protection, discipline, and parental concern, which can place the teacher in the difficult position where they must have empathy and accountability. To manage this complex situation, teachers should develop a deep understanding about their legal rights and professional standards, as outlined in the RA 4670, RA 7836, and the PPST. Seeking guidance from the legal experts and professional organizations can help them to clarify the ethical uncertainties. Moreover, maintaining an open communication with school administrators and colleagues foster a collaborative environment for solving the concern. And also, teachers must strive to balance the legal compliance and ethical integrity and ensure that their action reflects both professional standards. Teacher welfare and well-being is not a professional issue. It is a societal imperative. Teachers need more than a policy. They need a support system. When a teacher feels protected, empowered, and respected, they're more motivated, effective, and more inspired to nurture future learning and can lead changes. Investing teacher welfare and well-being is investing the nation's future. That will be all. In the Philippines, teacher welfare and well-being is grounded in both legal mandates and ethical standards. Laws such as RA 4670 and RA 7836 safeguard teachers' rights, ensure fair treatment, and regulate professional standards through licensure. Complementing this is the PPS team, which support teacher holistic growth by emphasizing professional development, well-being, and a positive work environment. In spite of this legal protection, conflict may still arise when legal